prepare to embark on a journey into the mystical land of Halloween, where the moon casts an unearthly glow and the boundary between reality and the supernatural is razor thin. It was a Halloween night like no other. As the hands of the clock approached 16:30, an inexplicable urge coursed through my veins, urging me to embrace the spiritual mystery of the evening with a twilight run. The realization quickly dawned on me that my usual running routes were now tangled in a web of Halloween festivities. The streets were teeming with costumed revelers and eager trick-or-treaters, making my usual journey impractical. I knew I had to chart a different course, one that would lead me on a captivating adventure along a tranquil canal towpath where the moon's reflection danced on the water's surface, and through a dense forest shrouded in the secrets only Halloween night could reveal. The night was serene, with the only sounds breaking the silence being the soft whisper of leaves beneath my footsteps and the gentle murmur of a nearby stream. As I ventured further into the night, I settled into a steady rhythm, allowing the tranquility of the night to envelop me. Nature became my only companion as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the water, and the trees whispered secrets known only to them. After approximately 6 kilometers, I found myself on a long, straight path, bordered by a calm canal on one side and the remnants of abandoned factories on the other. These factories, once the lifeblood of a bustling industrial era, now lay dormant, reclaimed by the relentless march of nature. Hidden behind layers of overgrown trees and tangled weeds, they added an eerie backdrop to the night's escapades. Amidst the decaying ruins, my attention was drawn to a partially demolished factory building with rusty fire escape steps clinging tenaciously to its weathered walls. However, it was not the factory itself that held my gaze. Perched atop the factory wall was a rugged-looking man, his legs dangling into the abyss below. As I drew nearer, he sprang to his feet, shattering the silence of the night with an urgent cry. His words, though loud, were carried away by the eerie stillness that surrounded us. As we closed the gap between us, he beckoned to me, his voice trembling. "Wait there. Can you help me find my phone?" His plea was imbued with a sense of desperation as he began descending the rusty steps, leaving me on the other side of a dilapidated iron fence, its menacing spikes adding to the sense of foreboding. I hesitated, unsure of what to do, but ultimately, I agreed to dial his number, allowing him to listen for the phone's ringtone. My own phone was securely strapped to my arm, and I began to enter the number he provided, despite the conspicuous absence of 07. To my surprise, he claimed to hear the ring even before I had finished entering the final digits. Just as I grappled with the peculiar turn of events, a larger figure emerged from the shadows to my right. This newcomer, even more disheveled than the first, bore the weight of a world of troubles in his eyes. He too asserted that he could hear the phone ringing, motioning for me to come through a gap in the fence to assist. The original man, insistent on my help, pounded his frustrations into a nearby tree, lamenting the importance of the phone and the vital role it played in his life. The isolation of the surroundings amplified my unease. My heart quickened as a palpable sense of foreboding settled upon me. It was then that I noticed a gap in the fence, an opportunity to escape the eerie situation. Seizing the moment, I sprinted away from the scene, leaving behind the 2 men who had requested my assistance. Their intentions had become increasingly questionable, and caution prevailed as I disappeared into the obscurity of the night. Leaving the canal path, I returned to the well-lit streets and immediately reported the disconcerting encounter to the authorities. Although they initially downplayed the significance of the incident, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered within me. The experience served as a chilling reminder of the importance of trusting one's instincts and safeguarding one's well-being. Halloween night, with its mystical allure, is a time when the ordinary and the extraordinary converge. It is a stark reminder to remain vigilant and prioritize personal safety, especially on a night that blurs the line between the mundane and the supernatural. The eerie encounter on that Halloween night continued to linger in my thoughts long after the incident. I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that there was more to the story, something lurking beneath the surface that I'd missed. It was as if the night held a secret that was just out of reach, and it gnawed at me relentlessly. In the weeks that followed, I found myself revisiting the events of that fateful night. The details seemed to shift and twist in my memory, revealing new layers of intrigue. The abandoned factories, the dilapidated fence, the desperate plea for help, they all took on a sinister tone. It was a puzzle I couldn't solve, a mystery I couldn't unravel. I began to research the history of the area, hoping to uncover any clues that might shed light on the enigmatic encounter. What I discovered was a labyrinth of stories and rumors, each more unsettling than the last. Some spoke of the factories as a hub of clandestine activities, a place where secrets were buried along with the past. Others whispered of ghostly apparitions that roamed the canal towpath at night, seeking to lure unsuspecting travelers into the unknown. As I delved deeper into my investigation, I stumbled upon a local legend that sent shivers down my spine. It was said that the canal towpath was haunted by the spirit of a long-deceased factory worker, a man who had met a tragic end within the factory's walls. According to the legend, his restless soul still wandered the path, searching for something he had lost in life. The more I learned, the more the pieces of the puzzle seemed to fall into place. Could the man I had encountered that Halloween night have been connected to this restless spirit? Had he been seeking something or someone in the darkness? The question swirled in my mind, and I knew I had to uncover the truth. I decided to revisit the scene of the encounter, to retrace my steps, and see if I could find any clues that I had missed the first time. It was a daunting prospect, but I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that there was something I had overlooked. Armed with a flashlight, I returned to the canal towpath on a moonlit night, determined to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the darkness. As I walked along the same path where the encounter had taken place, a palpable sense of unease settled over me. The moon cast eerie shadows, and the rustling of leaves took on a sinister tone. I reached the spot where the old factory stood, its decaying walls cloaked in an unsettling stillness. The remnants of the rusty fire escape steps were still there, a chilling reminder of that night. I examined them closely, hoping to find a clue, but they offered no answers. I then turned my attention to the dilapidated iron fence. It bore the scars of time, its menacing spikes weathered and worn. I wondered if the gap in the fence had held any significance, if it had been a deliberate invitation or a mere coincidence. My search continued through the overgrown area that had once been the factory grounds. Weeds and ivy had claimed the land, concealing any trace of the past. It was as if the factory had been erased from existence, leaving behind only whispers and questions. My investigation took a new turn as I began to speak with the locals who lived near the canal towpath. I hoped they might hold the key to unraveling the mystery. As I knocked on doors and engaged in conversations, I discovered that many had their own eerie tales to share. One elderly resident recounted a chilling story from her childhood. She had grown up near the abandoned factory and remembered hearing strange noises at night. Whispers in the dark, faint cries carried by the wind. They had haunted her dreams for years. She claimed to have seen shadowy figures near the canal, figures that seemed to beckon her into the darkness. Another neighbor shared a tale of a night when they had come across a group of people dressed in tattered clothing, wandering near the factory. They had seemed lost and disoriented, and when approached, they had mumbled incoherent words. The neighbor had hurried away, fearing that something sinister was afoot. The more I delved into these accounts, the more I became convinced that the factory and its surroundings held a dark secret. It was a secret that had left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the community, a secret that refused to stay buried. One name kept resurfacing in my conversations with the locals: the factory's lost soul. It was a moniker that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. According to local lore, the factory's lost soul was the spirit of a worker who had met a tragic end within the factory's walls. The legend spoke of a time when the factory had been a place of toil and hardship, where workers labored under grueling conditions. The factory's lost soul was said to be a man who had suffered greatly, a man who had lost something precious within the factory's labyrinthine halls. The circumstances of his demise remained a mystery, but one thing was clear: his spirit had never found peace. I decided to delve deeper into the legend of the factory's lost soul, hoping to separate fact from fiction. As I scoured historical records and interviewed local historians, I uncovered a startling revelation. The factory had indeed been the site of a tragic incident in the past. A fire had broken out, resulting in the loss of several lives, including that of a worker who had been unable to escape. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. The man I had encountered that Halloween night might have been linked to the factory's lost soul, seeking something he had lost in the fiery tragedy. It was a haunting thought, one that sent chills down my spine. I decided to visit the local archives, hoping to find more information about the factory fire and the workers who had perished. It was a tedious process, but I was determined to uncover the truth. As I sifted through old documents, I came across a faded newspaper article that sent a shockwave through my entire being. The article detailed the factory fire, providing a harrowing account of the tragedy. It mentioned the worker who had lost his life, a man named Samuel Turner. He had been a dedicated employee, known for his unwavering commitment to his work. The article described the desperate attempts to save him from the engulfing flames, but ultimately they had been in vain. With this newfound knowledge, I felt a profound sense of closure. The man I had encountered that Halloween night had been none other than Samuel Turner, the factory's lost soul. He had been seeking something he had lost in the fire, and I had unwittingly become a part of his quest. I returned to the canal towpath one last time, not with fear, but with understanding. I stood at the spot where our eerie encounter had taken place, and I whispered a silent acknowledgement to Samuel Turner, the lost soul of the factory. It was as if a weight had been lifted, and I could sense a fleeting moment of peace in the air. Halloween night had been a bridge between the past and the present, a night where the ordinary and the supernatural had converged. It had led me on a journey of mystery and discovery, one that had unraveled the enigmatic secrets of the factory and the lost soul that wandered its grounds. As I stood there, bathed in the moonlight, I couldn't help but think of the countless, untold stories that lay hidden in the darkness, waiting to be discovered. Halloween night was a bridge between the past and the future, a night where the ordinary and the supernatural came together. It took me on a journey of mystery and discovery that revealed the mysterious secrets of the factory and the lost spirit that haunts it. As I stood there bathed in moonlight, I couldn't help but think about the countless untold stories hidden within the darkness, waiting to be discovered. The realization that Halloween night bridged the past and the present left me in a constant state of wonder. The mysteries of the factory and its lost soul had awakened in me a thirst for discovery that refused to be quenched. It was as if I had stumbled upon a door to a world where history, legend, and reality were intertwined in an intricate dance. The story of Samuel Turner, the lost soul of the factory, stayed with me. I couldn't help but wonder about his unfulfilled quest, the urgency in his eyes, and the words never spoken. What was he doing that Halloween night? What was the significance of the phone call he called? I decided to delve deeper into the legend of Samuel Turner, hoping to uncover the missing pieces of the puzzle. The local archives became my refuge, and I examined every document, every piece of history that could shed light on his story. As I went through old letters, diaries, and photographs, a picture of Samuel Turner began to emerge. He was more than just a factory worker. He was a man of dreams and desires. His diary entries revealed his passion for invention, his longing to create something that would change the world. Samuel's inventions were apparently his life's work. He devoted countless hours to creating complex designs and prototypes in hopes of leaving a lasting legacy. But fate had other plans, and the factory fire destroyed not only his creations, but also his dreams. The more I delved into Samuel's story, the more I felt connected to his unfulfilled ambitions. It was as if his soul had reached across time to share his dreams with me, and I could not ignore the call. I began investigating the possibility of reconstructing Samuel's inventions. It was a daunting task, as his designs were complex and intricate, but I was determined to honor his memory. We set out to bring his creations to life with the help of talented artisans and engineers. Months turned into years as we worked tirelessly to recreate Samuel's inventions. It was a labor of love, a tribute to a man who was denied the opportunity to see his dreams come true. The factory, once the site of tragedies, was now a haven of creativity and determination. The day has come when we reveal the first of Samuel's inventions. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. As the machine hummed, I couldn't help but imagine Samuel looking down on us, his lost soul finding solace in knowing that his legacy lives on. Our journey wasn't over yet. We continued to recreate Samuel's inventions, each a marvel of engineering and innovation. The factory, once a symbol of tragedy, had now become a source of inspiration. Word of our work spread, and people from all walks of life came to witness the resurrection of Samuel's dreams. The factory floor, once shrouded in mystery, now echoed with the laughter of children, the excitement of inventors, and the curiosity of dreamers. Over the years, the legend of Samuel Turner has become a source of pride for the community. His name was no longer associated with tragedy, but with endurance, creativity, and the indomitable pursuit of one's dreams.